while I'm sitting here talking to my next friend, Carol, 5 more people could call in at 800-270-8642. That'd be awesome because you would help me hit my goal for sure. Now, Carol, this is an interesting story, unlike any that in the past 7 years that I've any of the families that I've talked to. Your daughter Kelly has had a series of pacemakers. And when did she get her very first pacemaker? She obviously has a heart condition. Kind of elaborate on what's going on with her.
Right. Well, when Kelly was born, she had what people usually refer to as a hole in her heart. Mm-hmm. She had a VSD, it was called. So when she was 9 months old, she came to All Children's Hospital to have open heart surgery. And they were successful in repairing the hole in her heart. Mm-hmm. However, the surgeon came out and said, I have good news and bad news. The good news is we fixed the hole. The bad news is her heart doesn't beat anymore. Oh. So what they did at the time was they hooked her to an external pacemaker. They said, we'll try this for a week to 10 days. And it's possible that her own natural heartbeat will come back, will resume. If it doesn't, we'll need to implant a pacemaker. So in 10 days, it didn't come back, and so she received her first pacemaker. Now, at the time, she was born a full-term baby, 7 pounds, 6.5 ounces, so she wasn't small, she was fine. But because her heart had to work so hard due to the hole, she really was only 13 pounds at the time of the surgery, so she was very little. Oh. And they were just beginning to implant pacemakers in babies at that time. My understanding from the representative from the company was that only a year before, the pacemakers were twice the size, so they wouldn't have even been able to put it into such a small body at that point. So she was kind of a pioneer. She was one of the first ones, I think.
Awesome.
But unfortunately, that one ran into some complications, and for 2 days we didn't know if she was going to survive or not. She had some serious problems, and it was very touch and go as to whether or not she would survive. But she's a very, very determined, strong. Mm-hmm. She was, even at that point in her life, she was, nobody's going to stop Kelly. She'll just, go on and do what she wants. So she did get a pacemaker when she was 10 months old, and she got her second one when she was 5. Then when she was 11, the dreaded wire broke, and so we had the emergency surgery in the middle of the night.
Oh, man.
Everything was all done at All Children's. That night was a very scary night. She had 9 seizures. Her heart stopped 9 times. Her doctor said, I can't tell you why she's still here, but I think she has a guardian angel.
Wow.
So then her next pacemaker was when she was 18, and she got one last year, 2 years ago, and the good ending to the story is that she's now 26 years old, and 2 weeks from today, she will be delivering her first child, a son.
Did you hear that, everybody? That is an amazing story. And when I was reading through this, I'm going, this is a new story for 7 years that we've been here. That is unbelievable. And everything that she had done all the way up until 18 was all done here at All Children's Hospital.
Right.
And are you excited to be a grandma?
Oh, well, we have 2 other my son has 2 girls.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first boy.
Oh, okay.
Being a grandparent is the best thing in the whole world.
Awesome.
Being a parent is wonderful. Being a grandparent even beats it. It's the best.
That's excellent. So, Carol, did you honestly ever think that you would see this day with Kelly?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I cannot say how much gratitude we have to All Children's Hospital. I mean, she came so close twice to not being here, and the wonderful care that she received here. Everyone we came into contact with, every time she was here. The first time she was here in intensive care for 3 weeks, everyone was wonderful. Yeah. They just do such an excellent job here. So no, I never thought we'd get to this point, but All Children's played a big, big role in her being here today.
Good. And how is Kelly's heart today?
Good. She's wonderful. I mean, she lives a very active life. Many, many people have no idea she even has a pacemaker.
Well, see, when you say pacemaker, I remember when I was a kid, a family friend of ours, the lady, had a pacemaker, and I remember the thing I remember is like if we used the microwave, she had to leave the room, and I'm sure the whole technology has come, so far. Are things like that still around? I mean, if can she use a microwave?
Yeah, she has to be careful with things. I mean, when she goes through, like if she goes to the airport, she has to go in another line and be patted down. She can't go through the machines. I mean, she has to be careful.
Like a card or something that says I can't go through that. I mean,
well, she usually just tells them in there, but she does have a card too, and she's set up to electronically monitor it once a month by phone. She sees the cardiologist in their office twice a year, but she has a monthly telephone check where they can make sure that that it's working properly and she's not having any problems.
Amazing with the phone.
But, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Carol, actually, I just right before we went on the air, I had not heard about this. Tell me about what you just did a little while ago with the Live the Mission program.
It was really an incredible experience. We were able to take a tour of the hospital because when Kelly was here,
It was the old hospital.
It was the old hospital, so
Right.
we were very familiar with that, but we had not been to the new building. We were able to take a tour of the entire building, and amazingly, we were able to sit in on a surgery that was performed by the doctor who did the emergency surgery when she was 11.
You're kidding.
And it was the same exact surgery that was her first one when she came here, when she had a VSD. So we were able to watch the whole process.
Unbelievable.
They explained, the doctor explained what he was doing, different members of the staff explained. We got to view it all on a screen, see exactly what was going on, ask any questions all through. It was just an amazing experience.
Now, because I'm just learning about this, and you may not have the answer to this, can anybody do the Live the Mission program, or does it have to be a patient's family, or...
I'm not sure. I would think so. I would think if they, if they contact the staff here, I think they could. We were invited to participate. My husband does work with the foundation department in trying to promote donations to All Children's
Great.
Hospital. So he's been in close contact with some of the staff members here. So they were the ones who invited us to come.
So if you could sum it up, what does All Children's really mean to you and your family?
Well, first of all, I don't think my daughter would be here today if not for All Children's Hospital.
Right.
I think we were so blessed to live so close in the community, to have a hospital of this caliber, have
Right.
the staff, the doctors. The things that they can do are amazing. The way that it's run, their mission. I think for people like us, and we came into contact obviously with many other families when Kelly was
Sure.
here, and everyone had the same feelings. I mean, we could never thank All Children's enough for what they did for our children.
You echo what I've heard over the course of the last 7 years from every family that I've ever talked to is just you can't say enough about the people that work here and how wonderful they are. If you could sum it up in just a couple of words, why should people make the phone ring and call up and donate?
Well, first of all, for all the good that they do for all the families who never expect to be here.
True.
I remember the year before Kelly was born, I made a donation to the beginning of one of the first few years of the All Children's telethon, never dreaming that the next year I would be coming there and my daughter would be a patient.
Wow.
So you never know. You never know when an accident can happen, an injury, an illness comes upon somebody, or it could be a congenital. And just because it's such a blessing to so many people, it's really an important part of our community.
Excellent. Thank you, Carol, and thank you for sharing Kelly's story. And by all means, tell Kelly that we said hello and congratulations on being a grandma again in 2 weeks. It's
Thank
so
you.
awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carol. 1-800-270-8642 is the phone number. Let's get the phones ringing and just need